Hi, it's Kylie Koo. This is day 17 of the ATC A Day Challenge for the month of June. So I have my card and now I'm looking at some paper from this particular pack. So I pick out two, although the second one I don't actually use in the end. So I have this image out of a magazine. I had actually copied it because I want to use the image on the reverse side, so I copied it. It's not a great copy because my printer was running out of ink. I keep forgetting to replace it, but actually because I was trying to do something sort of vintage style, I quite liked the fact that it wasn't, you know, a kind of deep shade of black and grey, whatever. So there I am, just looking at which background I want to use, and I decided to go with the one that's like an old sewn pattern. So I just cut that out, a piece the size of the ATC. Now I could have just used paper as the ATC itself, but this just makes it a little bit thicker. So just going to glue that down with some gel matte medium. So overall today this ATC took me about 40 minutes, but that was really because I was kind of humming and hawing about different things. I wasn't particularly liking the way this ATC was going at various points, and for that reason I kept stopping and thinking about where next. So yeah, 40 minutes. It shouldn't have taken that long. It's looking at that image and just deciding where I want to place it exactly, and all I'm doing now is taking one of these pip pens just to go around the edge to get rid of the white edges. I had been thinking that, you know, I wanted to make something vintage style, and while the image is actually a kind of modern day image, I thought it had a kind of vintage look about it. And just having a look at this washi tape and trying to decide if I wanted to use that. Now I'd pulled 3 buttons out of my stash. I was going to cover them with gesso and then paint them, but then I actually liked the colour of that button and thought, well, maybe I could incorporate some of those kind of colours of the button into the piece. So I'm taking 2 colours here, baby blue and sea spray, and taking some acrylic medium, and I'm just going to mix them together. What I'm trying to do is to get a very almost transparent blue colour. I had been going to knock back the background with some gesso, so I thought that this would actually do it instead, and it would give me that kind of blue, hint of blue really, that would then match with the button a bit. So all the way along I just keep looking at that, just checking that that is actually what I want to do. And at this stage I will be honest and I think, I'm not sure I've done the right thing. But, you know, I'd kind of committed to it, so that was that. I think if it hadn't been such a hot day and my studio hadn't been so hot, I probably would have taken maybe a kind of wet baby wipe and try and remove a lot more, but it virtually dried right away, even with the medium in it. But I did wipe back some excess just with a piece of kitchen towel. So when I see it at this point when I was doing it, I thought, okay, I can retrieve this, and I'm just checking it there against the original colour and thinking, which do I prefer? So at this point I decide that I will actually add some distress ink. So that was white linen, but it barely made a mark on the card. It just wasn't the right shade. So I took some vintage photo and I started adding it. And to be honest, in the end, it's not terribly different to the colour of the paper in the first place, although there is still a bit of that kind of blue showing through, which is certainly what I'd hoped for. So quickly round the edge with it. I mean, that's the thing about art, and, you know, ATCs are no different. Some things work out, some things don't work out as well. So these were some threads from something else from a while back, so I'm just playing about with them and looking at how I could maybe incorporate them along with the button, and I played about with that for ages. I really did. I just couldn't decide what to do there. So I'm back now with the washi tape, thinking about where I can add it. And at this stage I just think I just need to get her stuck down and in place and then try and work around that. So again, just using some gel matte medium. Now what I should really do when I'm working on things like this is wash my hands at every opportunity or have a wet wipe to wipe them off, because I ended up putting a little bit of ink on her face, which then led me to do other things that I would have been best leaving. But that will all come out in just a moment. So thinking it needs another bit of washi tape added in. And you can see even here I'm I think I was in an indecisive mood today as far as this went. So that wasn't helping things. So back on the button and the threads, and I played about and I played about, and I think actually, see, even there I go to cut it and then change my mind, wrapping it again, and I think I sat for a good 5 minutes, maybe longer, just playing about. So obviously I've cut some of that out because all I was doing was the same thing over and over. So there we go, I've decided on that. And now take my glossy accents, put some of that on the button and then put that right on top of the thread, so of course that will also help keep the thread in place. I think I envisaged this as someone who had made this kind of dress for herself, and that was kind of what I was trying to get at, but yeah, not necessarily a success. So I want to darken the edges, so I just use my Pitt pen again, but smudge it out a bit. Just cutting off the excess there. And again at this point I'm thinking, yeah, okay, maybe I can retrieve it. But I then feel she needs to be, I need to bring her out a bit more, so I'm kind of darkening the background behind her. I couldn't decide whether to do a kind of hard thin edge around her or just to make it softer by smudging it out, and you know, that's kind of what I've gone for at this stage. So I went back to some of the words that had been on the same page, and I decided to use that for the statement on the card. And what came up was understated cool, and I thought that went quite well. So just sticking that down. And at this point I kind of wish that I just left it like that, but I go around it again with the Pitt pen. And I then think it's too bright, so I start to just dab some of the Pitt pen onto it. So it gives it a kind of grungy look. Going around her again just a little bit, just to darken around her head. But I noticed that I had put some ink on her face, so I take this Pitt pen in Ivory. Yeah, not sure this worked out. At this point I was actually thinking that I might get out some paints and actually go over her completely, you know, so just do a face, do a dress and change her completely, but I left her. So now thinking what next, and I just decided to do a kind of border of sorts. So definitely not one of my favourite cards, although it might grow on me a bit. But you know, you win some, you lose some. So there we are. So thanks very much for watching, and I hope that you will join me again tomorrow. Meantime, bye for now.